What's good, fam? Thanks for joining me again for another GoatFormat video. So today I have something a little bit special for you guys. I actually brought to you the finals of the Clash of Champions tournament that happened on Sunday. I think it was about 34 players that entered the tournament. Every single person in the tournament was some kind of champion, whether it was an ARG champion, a Shonen Jump champion, a YCS champion. It could have been any of these GoatFormat tournament champions, but every single person in this tournament was a known player. You had people like Dale Bolito, Kris Perovic, Anthony Alvarado, Lazaro Bolito, Philly Luna, Jonathan LaBounty, champions. I think Moxie's was playing. A couple of other GoatFormat and format library champions were also in the tournament. But the finals was between Kris Perovic and Luca DeAngelis. Both players were playing Chaos Turbo. They were playing it a little bit differently. I'll also go over the top 8 deck list in another video, guys. But for now, let's just hop into this duel. So Kris wins the rock, paper, scissors, and obviously he's going to choose to go first. Opening hand for Kris is Torrential Tribute, Tsukiyomi, Chaos Torque, Graceful Charity, and Snatch Steal. 6th card is Mystical Space Typhoon. Luca's opening hand is Chaos Torque, Dekochi, Pot, Graceful, and Magician of Faith. Kris's hand is pretty good, but it's not too strong. You don't want to just shotgun this Graceful Charity and not get much value out of it. I'm assuming he's just going to set Torrential Tribute here and pass. Says go. Luca draws into MST. So I'm sure he's going to pot a greed first. Draws himself into Solemn Judgment and Torrential Tribute. So there's a few things actually. There's 3 things you could do here. You could try to go for the blowout and just set Magician of Faith and get your pot back. You don't necessarily want to activate this Graceful Charity because there's really no follow-up play after that. You're not getting too much card advantage from activating the Graceful. You could set Dekochi, and that's to bait a Nobleman across out, so that you can set your Magician of Faith afterwards. Or if you want to go completely defensive, you can just set Torrential Tribute. In my opinion, he's just going to set the Dekochi, maybe with the MST and pass. But let's see what his play is. So he activates MST. I'm not too sure the reason for that. Maybe he doesn't want to get Regeki braked on end phase. He goes ahead and sets Solemn Judgment with Dekochi and passes, I'm assuming. Yeah, passes over. Kris draws into Book of Moon. So his hand is still not that strong. His opponent potted and set a monster, so you might want to dig into something that's going to kill this. So now might be the time actually to activate this Graceful Charity. Let's see what Kris does. He just sets MST and passes. Luca draws into Mirror Force, so clearly he's going to flip Dekochi now. Dekochi gets him a Night Assailant, so now he can activate Graceful Charity. Draws into card D, another Magician of Faith, and a Nobleman across out. So obviously he's going to get rid of the Night Assailant and the Faith. And pick his Faith back up. Swing for 1400, and now you can set the Moth and set the Mirror Force if you want to. And passes over to Kris. Kris end phases the new card, which is the Mirror Force. Draws into Magician of Faith. So let's see what he does here. So he let this flip go off. Maybe he understood that Luca was a good player and he wasn't going to set Magician of Faith right away. But he might be reading Faith now, so maybe he Gracefuls now. Let's see what he does here. So he does activate Graceful Charity. That gets Solemn Judgments in, which is unfortunate because now we know this Faith's going to go off. Let's see. Maybe he sets the Faith with the Book of Moon. He could activate Snatch here and then summon Tsukiyomi to get a flip off and try to get the Nobleman for this. But let's see what happens. So he does activate Snatch Steal. Summon Tsukiyomi, gets the flip. Draws himself into Upstart Goblin. Activates Upstart, gets a Thunder Dragon. So he could swing now and then activate Thunder Dragon afterwards. It's not going to make a big difference. Sets his Book of Moon. This is in case that's a Morphing Jar or something like that. Swings with Tsukiyomi. Magician of Faith gets back pot. The coach is going to go in. So now Luca's at 3,600. Passes over. Luca draws into Ring of Destruction. So activate pot first. Draws into Warrior Lady and Heavy. So, I mean, so he didn't have knock last turn. He can go ahead and set the knock again if he wants to. I mean, set the Magician of Faith if he wants to. He could also summon Warrior Lady just to get board presence. And then go ahead and set the Ring of Destruction. But let's see what he does. So he does summon Warrior Lady. Attacks for 100. Let's see what Kris does here. Kris activates Book of Moon. Targeting the Dekochi, I'm assuming to get the draw. Draws into Gravekeeper Spy. Sets Ring of Destruction and passes over. Kris draws his own Dekochi. So he doesn't have a Chaos Orc play. He does have to go on the defensive here, so I'm assuming he's going to set Spy. Sets Spy and passes. Nano draws into Delinquent Duo. So let's see what he does first. He could hold off on this duo because he knows that Perovic has 2 Thunder Dragons. And he could just knock and then set Faith afterwards. But let's see what he does. He does knock. Gets rid of all of Kris's spies. Banishes Light and Dark. So he's going to go for the ring play. Swings with everything. Leaves Kris at 2,800. Sets Faith. Passes over. Kris draws into another Magician of Faith. He's got no darks in the graveyard, so he can't summon Sork. He summons Dekochi in attack mode. Okay, so he swings into Chaos Sork, eats the damage so that he can go ahead and summon Chaos Sork main phase 2. Summons the Sork, banishes his opponent's Sork, passes over. So at this point, you don't want to Ring of Destruction yet. You should draw for your turn and then activate Ring, because Kris could be doing the pro play and holding onto Book of Moon. But let's see what he does. He might just ring now. Okay, so he doesn't. He just draws into his Sangan, and I'm assuming now he rings. There's no point in doing anything else. So that's the end of game 1, guys. Kris is going to choose to go first game 2. So opening hand for Kris is Chaos Sword, Breaker, Magician of Faith, Dust Shoot, and Graceful Charity. Luca's opening hand is great again. Wow, man. So he opens double Thunder Dragon, Pot of Greed, Graceful, and Nobleman. I mean, the double Thunder Dragon is whatever because he has a Graceful to get rid of it, and he has a Pot of Greed to go plus. Let's see what Kris's next card is. So he draws into a Mystical Space Typhoon. So you don't want to summon Breaker right away. Maybe you want to activate Graceful now so that you can go ahead and get some value off of your Magician of Faith right away. But that seems to be the play. So let's see what he does here. He activates Graceful, gets himself to Kochi, Sangan, and Snatch Steal. I'm not too sure what he should banish, actually. This Breaker Sork is going to come into play afterwards. So you also want to set this Faith. You want to set this Dust Shoot. Maybe you get rid of MST in one of these 2 monsters. Let's see what happens here. So he gets rid of Faith. Okay. And he gets rid of Sangan. That puts Light and Dark in the graveyard without risking the Nobleman across out. So he's just going to set Dekochi, in my opinion, with the Dust Shoot and pass over. He also sets the MST, which is fine because if Nano has a Heavy Storm, then it's going to go 2 for 1. I'm assuming Kris is just going to Dust Shoot right away. So essentially he's just T-setting here. Passes over to Luca. Luca draws into Chaos Sork. Let's see. He Dust Shoots here. Gets the Sork back. And then... yeah, that's crazy, right? So he activates Thunder Dragon now. Gets his other copy. Activates Pot right away. Gets Solomon, Magician of Faith. Wow, man. So it doesn't look too good for Kris. Now activate Graceful Charity. Gets an Upstart Goblin, a BLS, and a Duo. Wow, so Trinity on opener. Let's see here. Nothing much to do, just get rid of these Thunder Dragons. Now up to Upstart Goblin. Okay, no, so Nobleman first. Getting the Dekochis out of the way. So next play Delinquent Duo. Let's see. So Upstart Goblin first, gets the Heavy. Drops Heavy, and now this is to make sure the Delinquent Duo goes through. Wow, man. So Kris holds on to the Breaker and chucks the Chaos Orc. Okay, so let's see what's going to happen here. Obviously, Nano's going to set this Faith with the Solemn. Passes over. Kris draws into Spy. Summons Breaker. Breaker gets eaten up by Solemn Judgment. So it looks like this game is over. Luca draws into a Wing Blast. So yeah, Magician of Faith get back Pot of Greed. Play Pot of Greed, gets Exile Force and Nobleman. So there's not much to do here, just swing in with the Faith. Set Wing Blast if you want to. Pass over, Kris draws into Upstart Goblin. Sets the Spy and passes over. Luca draws into Night Assailant, so now just Nobleman. Swing in, okay, no, so he puts it in defense mode. And just passes over. Kris draws into Delinquent Duo. That's pretty good because Luca doesn't have any traps in his graveyard. I mean, any flip effect monsters in his graveyard. So let's see what happens. Maybe he duels first. So no, he Upstart Goblins first, draws into Nobleman. Then hits Duo. Duo is going to target BLS, which was a really good card. Now Nano is going to get rid of Exile Force, holding on to the Night Assailant. Passes over to Nano. Nano draws into a Chaos Orc, which again doesn't do much here. So he just passes over. Kris draws into Magician of Faith, so that's going to get set. Passes over. Luca draws into Space Typhoon, which again doesn't do anything here. Puts Faith in attack mode. Swings in. So I wonder what he thought that was going to be. Gets back his Graceful Charity. Passes over. Kris draws into Heavy Storm. So maybe he wants to heavy here to make sure this Graceful goes off. Let's see what he does. So he just Gracefuls. Gets his Chaos Orc, Thunder Dragon, and a Kaiku. Not sure what he can get rid of here. Duo's gone, so you don't need Thunder Dragons to go off, really. This heavy is really important. The Chaos Orc is really important. Maybe he gets rid of Kaiku and Knock. Maybe you want to hold on to this Knock, though. Let's see what he gets rid of. Wow, so this is taking a while. Okay, so he gets rid of Thunder Dragon and he gets rid of Kaiku. Drops the Sork to get rid of the Faith. Probably to make sure no Tsukiyomi plays go off. Passes over. Luca draws into a Torrential Tribute. So he's going to set that with the Night Assailant and pass. And now it seems like it's back to Kris, right? Kris draws into BLS. So Heavy Storm's going to go down now. Let's look at his graveyard. He does have Light and Dark, so this is actually game. Those go out, Nobleman, and then BLS drops, and this is game, guys. Nice. So you don't see too many people play out of Trinity on opener, but that was pretty cool that Kris got that off, especially in the finals of a big tournament. But anyway, Nano draws his opening hand, and it is MST, Magician of Faith, Morphing Jar, Sinister Serpent, and Solemn Judgment. Kris's hand is Dust Tornado, Mind Control, Thunder Dragon, Knock, and Trap Dust Shoot. 6th card for Nano is Sangan. So let's see. This Solemn Judgment can be held. You don't necessarily want to set it unless you want to set this Morphing Jar and make sure it goes through. He could set the Sangan, try to get that Nobleman first. But let's see what he does here. So he sets the Morphing Jar and the Judgment. Maybe trying to go for a blowout power play. Let's see what Kris does. Kris draws into Kochi. So let's see. He's probably going to Nobleman first. Nobleman gets hit by Solemn Judgment. And then activate Mind Control. Aha, gambled this one. So Kris says jar ? So he actually read this Morphing Jar pretty well, right? That was my read. Hadn't seen a mind control in 5 games. Wow, so Kris actually hits the morphing jar that he was reading the whole time, right? So chuck Thunder Dragon, get his other Thunder Dragons. Now set your whole hand. Flips morphing jar. Wow, that's crazy. So everybody gets a fresh hand here. Nano's hand is double Wing Blast, Upstart, Pot of Greed, and Chaos Sorcerer. Kris's hand is Spy, Regeki Break, Upstart Goblin, Pot, and Dust Tornado. So Pot and Upstart Goblin are going to go off. Getting Kris a Space Typhoon, a Regeki Break, and a Ring of Destruction. So he doesn't necessarily have to do much here. He could just set Ring and pass. So he does set Regeki Break, sets the Ring. So Kris really wants to go for a blowout here. Or maybe he wants to make sure that his morphing jar doesn't go off again. Passes over, Luca draws into a Nobleman. Gets back his Serpent. Kris plays Dust Shoot right away. Let's see here. There is a Light and Dark. Let's think about this, right? So you do have an answer for the Chaos Sorcerer. And technically you do have an answer for the morphing jar if he tries to Book of Moon it. So maybe getting rid of the Serpent is the play. Let's see what he does here. So he gets rid of the Sork. Okay, so he gets rid of the Chaos Sorcerer. Maybe he just wants to ring the morphing jar. Kris gains 1,000 right away. Nano chucks Upstart to the graveyard and picks it back up. So he sets all of his cards, then plays Upstart Goblin, which was the same thing. I don't know what the problem was there. Activates Snowman to cross out, getting rid of the Dekochi. Swings for 700. This is going to go through. And then sets 2 cards. He knows the Book of Moon is in his hand. Maybe he wants to ring now, because if not, then he has a Book of Moon play. He's forced to Regeki Break that. You don't necessarily want to do that. Yeah, so Kris end phase Ring of Destructions. Then end phase Dust Tornado hits a Wing Blast. Sets the other Dust Tornado. Passes over, draws into Snatch Steal. So one of the knocks are gone. I don't think we saw mind control from Luca the last game, so maybe he's safe to set this Spy. So he sets the MST and then sets the Spy as well. Passes over, Luca draws into Chaos Sork. He did shuffle his hand last game. I was just going to check, but he Upstart Goblin did. Passes over, Kris draws into Tsukiyomi. So on main phase 1, Luca's going to activate Wing Blast, targeting the Gravekeeper Spy. Maybe he thought it was a Magician of Faith. He didn't want that to go off. So there's nothing else to do. Kris passes over. Luca draws into a Breaker. Let's see if he gets back his Serpent. Gets back Serpent, drops Breaker. Hits MST. MST is going to hit Solemn Judgment. Banish Light and Dark. He's going to go in. Okay, so he goes in and swings. Kris says upon entering battle phase, activates Dust Tornado, gets rid of the Book of Moon. He knew this is the Book of Moon, so maybe he's bluffing Mirror Force. But we know a Snatch Steal with the Suki is going to go off next turn. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if he attacks. So he does attack. Kris draws into his Spy. So Snatch Steal the Sork. Banish, summon Tsukiyomi. Swings with everything, and it should be game next turn. Unless he draws some kind of power spell, this should be game next turn. I would appreciate it if you wouldn't draw Pot of Greed or Graceful Charity. Sets the second Regeki break. Gets Tsukiyomi back. And that's the game. Luca draws into the Warrior Lady. The Warrior Lady's not going to do anything. Summons Warrior Lady, swings, and Regeki break goes off. And that's it, guys. So that's crazy. Kris is your Clash of Champions winner. Big congratulations to KPerovic. Congratulations to everybody on Overdose, because I'm sure this was a team effort. I'm sure you guys played a lot trying to go into this tournament. I don't think Kris gets a lot of time to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's pretty dope that he actually decided to enter this tournament, and he won the tournament. Let's say Luca would have won this game. He would have had to beat Kris 2 matches in a row, and that would have been difficult, you know, by itself. So just the fact that Kris was in the winner's bracket of this tournament meant that Kris had a really good chance of winning. And I'm just happy he did. He's a good friend of mine. He actually got me to start playing GoatFormat. So a big shout out to KPerovic. Also a big shout out to Anthony Alvarado. He's obviously another Overdose member. He's actually the person that sat down with me and, you know, taught me how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! So big shout out to Overdose. I love all you guys. Again, congratulations to KPerovic. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's the game. If you saw any plays that you would have done differently, please let me know in the comments down below. I hope you like this video. If you do like it, guys, share this video with your friends. If you have any other duels that you want to send to me that you want me to show on this on my page, guys, please send them to me on my email, or you can send them to me on Dueling Book. If you want to help support this channel, check out my TCG player, link in the description below, or you can check out my merch channel, that's also in the description below, guys. And I'll see everybody on the next one. All right, peace.